You're a revered MMA fighter, but guess what? You open up a jiu-jitsu school. Why?
To me, I think we need something like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu more than ever in today's world. Jiu-Jitsu to me shows that grace, creativity, intelligence, softness can defeat anything. Sometimes we get the idea in mixed martial arts that, well, you just got to be crazy tough, tougher than anybody. You got to be able to deal with pain and, be muscled out and crazy and all these things. And while some of that might be true,
sure,
for some people,
it's a fighting art.
It's a fighting art. To me, jiu-jitsu is that perfect analogy and lesson for life. And it's that chaos will come your way. It's inevitable. But how do we hold ourselves with grace, with composure, and utilize high-level skill to solve the problem, not these balls of emotion or tension or fear or hardness. Jiu-jitsu is how I try to approach everything in life now. And I think that it's something that is much needed. You will absolutely encounter adversity in jiu-jitsu, and you will have to deal with people that are going to try to go hard on you.
Sure.
But how do we elevate ourselves and see past it and let true jiu-jitsu be our guide?
And there's two perspectives I wanted you to share, because for me, what I'm learning as a student, as a white belt, there is a community where you become homies and friends with
absolutely
who you sweat with and who you injure or you get injured by,
yes,
with respectful injury.
Right.
If you could expound on that as a student, and also what are you learning as an instructor that runs his own academy as a perspective of community also?
There's a cliche that is utilized in jiu-jitsu all the time it's talked about as far as knowing so much about a person when you roll with them. And it is so true. You know if they will freak out when encountered with adversity. You will know when they panic when they encounter chaos. You will know if they are humble. You will know if they are overconfident. You will know if they forget about details. You will know about so many things about that person. So it's a very revealing thing. So you start to know these people on a completely different level, maybe even without words. Probably know more about them without words, right?
By feeling.
Just by feeling. And it's something that we've lost so much of. Not to mention, you gain a respect for that person because you realize, hey man, I was right there where you were before. I know what you're experiencing and you're having a hard time, but I see this person come in every single day to work on those weaknesses and have to face all those demons that they experience on the mat, the same things that they'll experience in life. And how can you not respect that person? Jiu-jitsu is extremely difficult. It is truly the unification of mind, body, and spirit. That does not come easily. It takes a lifetime to learn those things. And to see others that are trying to evolve themselves in that way brings me so much joy, and that is the whole point of why I have this Jiu-Jitsu Academy. It is something that I feel I need to give back to people. It is something that has elevated myself as an individual, as a human. I don't know who I would be or where I would be without Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and without martial arts in my life. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu just happens to be one of the things that I picked out of my martial arts career to help share with people because it means so much to me. It's how I started doing what I do, and it's how I want to help change a small piece of this world.
With Jiu-Jitsu, it expresses a martial culture without even trying to force it. It's not trying to be on the nose, because you know what? You tap someone out, the next guy or girl will tap you out. So it's an express warrior ethos without even trying to be on the nose and being braggadocious about it.
You couldn't be more accurate.
Okay.
You couldn't be more accurate. How can we, well done. to be humble, right, means you must be humbled. And I think we all understand that there's levels to this game and that we're always going to be checked by various martial artists. And also we're going to learn. That's one thing we can't forget about either. Yes, our egos will be put in check. Hey, not so fast, you're not so good. There's this guy over here. But there's also an amazing learning lesson there of going, that's a weakness, Kenny. Don't do that. Or do this. This is good, this is not. You're on the right path, but not quite there yet. So there's this discovery process of knowledge, of keeping your ego in check. And like you said, it's all part of the martial arts ethos, which I think really elevates us as humans.
Yeah, and I personally feel it allows someone to feel like, I fought in a battlefield, now I'm gonna go fry me some pork chops or something to enjoy the rest of the evening because I just worked hard.
We all have that in us too. We also can't ignore that, is that we are here because at some point in our history, someone fought for us to be here.
Men, fathers had to defend, like we were talking about community, someone from another rice field. That's why the Kamas would chop rice, but at the same time, it's a weapon.
It was a weapon. We have that in our history. We are warriors at some point down the line. And you know, when I started doing martial arts, again, like I said, it was this true religious experience to me. There was a calling there. There was a stillness that came over me. The world stopped when I was doing martial arts. And I think I connected to that period of somewhere down the generation of maybe a warrior in my family or in my DNA that really resonated with me. And I don't know, I think that we're losing a big part of that. Obviously we have this military culture as well, but I think we need this more than ever to understand that we do have courage within us, we do have strength within us, and we don't have to be braggadocious about it. There can be a quiet, silent courage and strength about us.
Sorry, no worries. Let's go back for a second. So when you're here, when you're on your back, right, you have good movement on your hips, but you're opening up the space between your armpit and your hip. And if you open up that space, it means that I'm able to occupy this space a little bit.
Okay.
I want you to close down the space between armpit and hip this way.
Okay.
Right? So now, while I can walk around a little bit, you can still always utilize your legs to get back in a position and retain your guard.
Okay.
But if you go to push me away, now you weaken your leg position, and now you allow me to close that space. All the strongest positions in Jiu-Jitsu deal with me occupying this space. Mount. Close guard. When I have your back, I'm always occupying this space between armpit and hip. This is what allows me to control you when I'm inside control. I'm always in these positions. This is what allows me to isolate you a lot better. So this, you do not want to concede. If you push away while you do want to create some space, what you don't want to do is do this.
And that's where the chest to chest.
Correct.
Meets, okay.
So let's say I'm by your legs, maybe right here, but because you're closing down the space, you're not giving me the opportunity to really control you. Do this and frame on my body, and now push. You never gave up that space, and now you're ready to defend your position again.
So I am moving my hips, but I need to clam up.
Correct. Correct.
Okay.